Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stella Simbi and I hope you're doing good, you're doing well. So in today's video I'm going to show you how I made this pixie wig, and I'm going to show you how I ventilated my 3/4 frontal, sewing the back, cutting, styling, everything I'm going to show you. So you can actually do this at home, like seriously at home. You know, frontals are very expensive, but you can do your own wigs and rock it, you know. So before we get into the tutorial, please kindly subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so the next time when I post a video you'll be notified. So let's get into the tutorial. Like at first I wanted my parting to be like here, then I later shifted it to be here, so I had to resew it, and I'm going to ventilate like this part here and going there. This side only doesn't ventilate it. Here I'm not ventilating, I'm going to sew it. I later moved this part, moved it here, so I'm going to ventilate this and here. This I'm not going to ventilate, and this I've already marked my hairline. Like you see, this is my hairline. I'm going to use this bundle, but I only used half of it, and then I'm cutting off my weft and removing the little hairs and make sure every hair is the same. And I'm ventilating 3 hairs at the back, 2 in the middle and 1 at the front, because we want your wig to look natural. You have to ventilate 1 strand of hair at the front. So right there I'm picking 2, then I will shift to 1 at the front, like so. Right there I'm picking 1 strand of hair, like I want it to look natural, like natural, and you will see at the end of the video how natural it's going to look on me. And right here at the back I'm picking 3 strands of hair and skipping 2 rows, picking 3 strands of hair and skipping 2 rows. I'm going to do this process up until I reach where I want my parting to start. That's where I'm going to stop and switch to 2. That's where I'm going to stop. Right here I've switched from 3. Now I'm picking 2 strands of hair and skipping a hole because I'm near my parting where I want my parting to start. So I switched from 3 to 2 strands, and I'm only skipping 1 hole right here. I'm ventilating 1 line from the back up until I reach the front, because I'm doing it as a guide. I want my parting to be a little curvy, so I'm going to ventilate 1 line going straight, then I will fill in the inside when I'm done ventilating up until where my hairline starts. And I'm going to do this. As you can see, it's a straight line, it's a little bit curvy, so it's going to be a guide of how my parting is going to look like when I'm done. So I wanted it to be like a little curvy. That's why I'm ventilating a guide, and then I will fill in inside of it when I'm done. Like I'm going to pick like that. I'm picking 2 strands of hair and skipping a hole. I'm going to do this process up until I reach. When I'm near the hairline, I'm going to switch from 2. I'm going to start picking 1. Remember, we said when we are ventilating near our hairline, we're going to ventilate 1 strand of hair, and skipping like a hole. You're going to space it out so that it can look more natural.
here I'm picking one strand of hair and skipping a row. Like, you can space it out depending on how you want your frontal to look like. If you want it to be a little bit more full, you can just skip one row. Frontal will look more nicer when you pick one strand of hair at the front, because it looks natural and the knots won't show that much, like compared to when you're picking two strands or more. It will show, the knots will show. So you should pick one at the front so that the knots won't show when you're wearing it. And this is how one side looks like. So I'm going to skip one line before start ventilating the other side. I'm going to skip one line, and I will use that later on as my parting, so it will be easy for me to just open the parting. And I'm going to continue ventilating, picking two strands of hair right there, picking two strands of hair. And when I'm near my hairline, I'm going to switch to one strand of hair, and I'm going to continue this process up until I finish my frontal. Right here at the front, I'm picking one strand. As you can see, at the front I'm picking one strand of hair and skipping a row, or you can just space it out depending on how you want it to look. But skipping one row and picking one strand is much more neater. You can do it according to how you want it to look like. Yeah. And if you space it out, there's no need for you to pluck it, because it already looks natural. It's not that full, so you won't have to pluck it. That's the advantage of making your own frontals. You can make it according to how you want it. If those ones that are already made, when you buy it, you have to pluck it, because sometimes the nose are showing is much fuller. You can just make your own, and you make it according to how you want it to look. So there again at the back, I'm picking 3 strands, then I will switch to 2 in the middle, and I will pick 1 at the front on the hairline. I will pick 1, and I'm going to continue this process like that. I'm picking 2 strands. I'm going to continue up until I finish. So 3 at the back, 2 at the middle, and 1 at the front. Right there, I've switched from 2, and I'm now picking 1, because I'm at the hairline. I'm picking 1. After I'm done ventilating, I'm going to wipe off the eyeliner I used to mark my hairline. I'm going to wipe it off so that it looks clear. So these are the short pieces I'm going to use at the back. It was 27 pieces, and I'm starting off with the shorter pieces, and I will move to the medium and then the longer one. So I'm starting at the back with the shorter, and I'm going to sew side to side. When I reach the other side, I'm going to cut it and continue sewing the other tracks. I'm just going to sew from the other side up until reach the other, cut, then start the other track. I'm not doing a flip method because this is a short wig. You want it to look to go the same direction. So if you flip it, it won't go the same direction. You have to sew from this side to the other, cut this side to the other, and cut. Just continue with this process, sewing side to side up until I reach where my frontal is starting. So just continue doing the same process, and right there I'm now sewing the smaller pieces. I finished them, and I've switched to the middle pieces, and at the top I'm going to put the longer pieces. And you should use this wig cap because it kind of guides you where your ears is going to be. So it's much easier when you use this kind of cap than a dome cap. You have to mark it. If you're a beginner, you won't know where your ears is going to be. So if you're a beginner, it's easy to use this kind of cap because it's kind of guide you where your ears is going to be, everything. So when I'm at the top here, I'm going to sew one side up until I reach the topper part, because my parting is going to be on the side. So I have to sew the other side more tracks than the other one so that it will balance. When I reach where my frontal is starting, it will balance. Make sure when you're sewing your tracks at the top, you're joining them with your frontal. It kind of blends in. Make sure every track you sew when you are at the part where you reach your frontal, you have to join them with your frontal so that it blends in with your frontal. Also, your last track, join it with your closure frontal, join it together, and it blends in like that. When you're done sewing, tie it, then cut, then tie again, and cut the excess thread, and this is how it will look. So I'm going to open my parting before I cut it. Remember that one line we said we're going to leave, it will be easier for you to open your parting. So I'm going to, right there, I'm going to trim the back. I'm not trimming the top part, I'm only trimming the back and the sides. I'm not trimming the upper part. And the side I'm also going to trim it like that. I'm using a razor comb to trim. If you can use a scissors to trim, you can. If you can use a razor, you can, but I prefer using this comb because it combs and the same time it's cutting. It's actually easier to use this one to trim your pixie wig. I'm going to blow dry my hair before cutting it and make sure it's straight before I cut it. And I'm going to use a scissor and I'm going to cut it at an angle, and that I'm going to cut it according to how I want the length to look like. That's how I'm going to cut it. And I'm trimming it, putting the hair to the direction where I want it to go when I'm done. So cut your hair going to the direction where you want it to lay when you're done. After I'm done cutting, I'm going to apply my olive oil mousse, laying my hair to the direction where I want it to be, and I'm combing it to make sure that it is straight like that. I'm combing it and make sure it is straight. After I'm done this, I'm going to put a scarf on it so that when it's dry it will be flat. Every hair will be flat, and I'm blow drying it to help it dry faster. And this is how it will look, and this is how it looks on me.
Watching, guys, that's probably all for today. That's all, and I'm in love with this. I'm in love. Like, you can actually make this wig at home on your own. You know, frontals are very expensive, but you can do this at an affordable price. You can do it on your own at home and rock your wig, sis. So if you find out anything helpful in this video, if you found anything helpful in this video, give it a big thumbs up and share to your friend and subscribe to your girl. So see you in my next video, and remember, we're all beautiful in our own beautiful kind of ways. So goodbye, thank you for watching.